welcome to a new video from the Just One More Stitch Knitting podcast. In today's episode, we are going to do video number 3 out of a multi-part series on knitted and crocheted summer tops as I'm making them. My thoughts on the patterns, my thoughts on the yarn that I used, what I recommend the pattern. Yeah, I think that's about it. So if that sounds like it might be something that you would be interested in, grab a cup of something and let's get into what I'm wearing. What I am wearing in this video is going to be, it is called the Chasing Summer Tank Top, and it is by Janine Myska, and I had to make myself some notes. It is a crochet top using DK weight yarn and a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. I had to think about it, but you'll see why in a second. So any DK weight yarn will work. I used Paintbox. The colorway that I used, I don't have any more of because I had 4 balls and I literally used all 4 balls, but I can show you what the yarn normally looks like. This is what the Paintbox Cotton DK looks like. And what is this color called? Because this is kind of cool. This is called Rich Teal. The one that I am wearing is called Red Wine. And this is listed as an advanced beginner to intermediate pattern. And I would say, yeah, probably advanced beginner. I think a beginner could do this as long as you found a really good YouTube video on how to do a foundation double crochet. The rest of it, cakewalk. I made this garment in one day. As a matter of fact, I cast it on June 18th in the afternoon, and I finished it, I don't know, I think it was around 9-10 o'clock at night on June 19th. So, but that was with me starting it, frogging it, swatching it, which if you've seen any other videos on my channel, I am so not a swatcher when it comes to knitting. And I've never swatched for a piece of crochet before, but let's talk about the swatching first. Right here, I am going to put some footage, some pictures here, somewhere over here. There will be some pictures. And the pattern calls for you to do double crochets on a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. And so I did that. And the more I looked at the first panel that was done, I just felt like, oh, if I wear this, I'm gonna have to wear something underneath it. And I don't know if I wanna do that. I live in Florida, and in May, it was already a feels like of 107. So picture August. So I let it sit there for a few hours, and then I decided on a whim that I was going to grab another ball of yarn and make the panel again, which is also somewhere up here on the screen. And I used a 3 millimeter crochet hook, and I did half double crochets. And do you guys see the difference in how little light is coming through one versus the other? I literally just held it up to the window of my bedroom and took the picture. So it was just natural light streaming through, and I figured that that was going to be a really good representation of what it was going to be like for me to have it on my body and for people to be walking past me throughout the day outside. And with that, I decided that I was going to do the 3 millimeters with the half double crochet. This pattern is really fantastic because she tells you in the pattern that you can make this top with any gauge, any hook, any yarn, as long as your pieces are the actual measurements of the garment. So it said for my size, I made the size medium, and it said that each panel needed to be 8.5 inches wide. So as long as you met that measurement for your panel and you had your 2, then you were going to be good to go. So I figured if I used a 3 millimeter crochet hook and I did half double crochet, as long as I ended up with 8.5 inches for my finished section, I was going to be good. And I was, so yay. The construction for this garment is that you start with a foundation chain, foundation double crochet, not a regular chain, but a foundation double crochet chain. I had to look it up on YouTube, and I will try to remember to put a link to the video that I used for that down in the description below for you. But you make that the length that you need. And the pattern said that for my size, I needed to do a foundation double crochet chain of 35. However, insert modifications number 1 here. I did a foundation double crochet chain of 45 on the 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. Now, when I decided to go to the 3 millimeter crochet hook, I should have made my foundation double crochet chain longer, but I had a moment and I didn't. There's another modification coming. So you do the foundation chain, and that foundation chain actually is going to be like from here down. And then what you do for the pattern is you'll crochet to the end, and then when you get to the top, it tells you how many you need to double crochet into the same space. In my case, it was half double crochet in the same space, where to put your stitch marker so you know where the actual point is. And then you keep going, and then you just go back and forth until you've got the measurement that you need for your size. So once you've got the 2 pieces, then you just seam them together, and then you do the back and you seam the back on. That's another modification. So I think I did a total of 1, 2, 3. I had 4 modifications to this pattern. The pattern was really, really easy to modify. I have to say that as much as I love knitting, I don't enjoy crocheted fabric because of what it does over time. But when it comes to wanting to modify your patterns or your garment, I think it's easier to do in crochet than it is in knitting. Because, like, for example, in knitting, I had to seam the 2 pieces together. This garment has not been blocked, by the way, which is why you can still see the seam right here. And I believe you can still see the seam back there. But I'm kind of afraid to block it because the Paintbox is 100% cotton. And, you know, if you've ever crocheted with 100% cotton, you know that it kind of, when you get it wet. And then sometimes it just kind of, when you put it in the dryer. So I don't know how I want to handle the blocking section yet. I might just continue to wander around the house wearing it and let my body just block it out and go from there. Maybe just take it to the dry cleaners. That might be a thing. Anyway, so you do your 2 pieces, you seam it down the center, you add your back panel, you seam it, you crochet your straps, and you're done. That's essentially the bones of the pattern. The modifications that I made are, like I said, I did 45 stitches for my foundation double crochet chain, and so that was my first modification. My second modification was that when you do the back, you're just supposed to join on the side up the number of stitches that you want, and then crochet all the way over until you reach the measurement, which I think for my size it was 19 inches, and then you just seamed up the other side. So what I did instead was I said 19 divided by 2, and I gave myself a center seam down the back. And let me see if I can, hopefully, there you go. So that's what it looks like at the back, and I liked it better like that. To me, it was more symmetrical with the front, being that it had a seam as well. So that was my second modification. My third modification was that instead of doing crocheted straps, because I knew that it was going to stretch, instead I picked up 3 stitches and put them on my DPN needles, and I just did an I-cord, and then I seamed the I-cord to the other side because I know that I-cord tends to be a bit less stretchy than crocheting will be over time. My fourth modification to this pattern was, since I knew that I needed to do a foundation double crochet chain of more than 45, but I had a moment and I forgot when I changed tuck size, that meant that I no longer had the length that I had originally come up with when I did 45 stitches with the 3.5 millimeter. So I ended up adding a border to the garment, and to do the border, I just did half double crochets all the way around, And it's still not quite as long as I want, but I think that maybe with wear, it'll be okay. Yeah, I think with wear, it'll be all right. But I just did 4 rounds of four rounds of double crochet, then 1 round of a really loose single crochet, and then I just wove in the end and I called it a day. I really liked the fact that you could control how deep you wanted your V to be on the front of this top, because you could, since you seamed from the bottom up, you could just keep going until you had the closure that you wanted. And what I did was I left myself a long tail, finished the garment, tried it on, thought about it for a while, and then I actually ended up going back and seaming it up another, I think it was 5 more stitches. I do not list this pattern as a bra friendly pattern, whether you modify it and do a knitted I-cord or you choose to do the crochet one, because it's only 3 stitches with DK weight yarn, and it might maybe just cover your bra strap, but we're talking just. If you wanted to make it bra friendly, I would say probably do a 5 stitch strap on both sides, and I think you would be okay. Across the back is perfectly flat, like there's no extra shaping or anything there, and I think that was it. It was super easy to knit. I had a lot of fun doing it. I knocked out like half of an Audible book while I was making mine. Would I make this garment again? I think I would like to, but I think I would like to try it with a different fiber content. I know that if you go down on a crochet hook size, then you're going to get a denser fabric, which is kind of what I wanted, because I didn't want the fabric to be so see-through, but I know that I lost some of that flowy drape that I had. So I think I would like to try it again with a lighter yarn, and I have one in mind. Hold on. On Amazon a few weeks ago, I got from Silk City Fibers. It is, the colorway is called Antique Grass, and this is a bamboo viscose yarn. And I thought that it might be good in this, but I think that it will take me a while to make it unless I hold the 2 strands double, because this is definitely a fingering weight yarn. But I think if I held 2 strands double, it might not take me as long, but I think I would have better drape. Yeah, if I was gonna make it again, I would definitely do this. I wouldn't make it again out of a 100% cotton yarn. I do know that much. I don't think I would make it out of a 100% linen either, but maybe something like, told you I had yarn everywhere. Maybe something like this. Universal's Bamboo Pop, because it's got like a little bit of a stretch to it. It's still a fingering weight yarn though. From a DK weight yarn, I really can't think of anything off the top of my head that I would recommend. If you guys have any suggestions, put them down in the comments for what you might recommend. Maybe a Rosario's Cuatros might be a good one. Martina from We Grow Wild, she used that to make a couple of garments. Maybe that might be a good one. Anyway, so yes, would I knit this garment again? Yes, but I would want it to be a denser fabric, and I would take better care to make sure that I had the length that I wanted to wear up front. In the grand scheme of things though, I don't think it would have mattered, because I only had 4 balls of the red. I bought four balls of, I think like 4 or 5 colors from Webb's when they were on sale for $2.37. So that's the other thing. If you do use the Paintbox yarns, this is a really affordable garment to make. The size medium needed 4 balls, and I had a little bit left over, but we're talking it was a little bit. It's going to become a stripe and something later on down the line. I think that's it. The instructions were really clear. She also has a link inside the pattern that you can go to see pictures of other images of what she's telling you to do. So if you're just learning how to make a garment, if you're not sure how to do increases all into one stitch, which honestly was the most advanced thing aside from the foundation double crochet. She's got links and pictures for all of those different things inside the pattern. The pattern was available on Ravelry, was really affordable. And it's one that I think that will work not only for me, but will also work well for my daughters. So if you have teenage daughters and you want to make them a garment, I recommend this one. With that said, I hope that you found this review of the Chasing Summer pattern helpful, inspiring, and if it's something that you were considering making, I hope that this has given you some ideas about whether or not you definitely want to make it, what your potential possibilities for modifications could be, because as you saw, I've got 4 in this one garment. If you were on the fence about maybe trying Paintbox cotton DK yarn, I hope that this video helped you to decide whether or not that's something that you want to try. I definitely recommend using that yarn. It's really soft, it's really affordable, it comes in a lot of different colors. Yeah, I think that's about it. Anyway, I hope that you found this video helpful and inspiring. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please like and share this video because we are trying to grow this channel. And with that, I will see you in the next pattern review video. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.